Hello, everyone. Oh my word, there are so many of you in here already. Like, normally I go through and I like say hi to everybody, but I think it would probably take me a good 30 minutes just to do that. So I'm gonna say blanket hello to everyone I've seen. You know, loads of regulars, lots of new faces and everything. Oh yeah, Sammy, loads of pencils. So welcome everyone. This has been on our schedule to do since, gosh, what, 2 months ago? It has been a while, and I was finally able to get back to it. So we have so much to do. So let me start by saying, first of all, thank you everyone for being here. This is going to be lots of fun. Second of all, there are 3 worksheets for today. I made an extra one today. Yes, gold nails I painted last night after stream. So if you don't have your worksheets yet, or you're watching this back, go ahead, pause the video, head on over. If you're in my Facebook group, they're in the files, or they are in the on my website. You can type in !website, or go to emilyillustrator.com/downloads, and you'll find all the worksheets that we're going to use today. And side note, before I forget, Patricia Schpirerr, I can't remember. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, I saw your name fly through. Remember, you won a free page from my Etsy store. So, but I never got your email. So, Patricia, if you're listening, send me an email with what page you want. So, yeah, send me an email. Kat, thank you, Kat, for the super chat already. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. Little happy lovey lemon. Okay, so we are going to dive right in because we have got loads. As you can see, I've got all the pencils here. I've got them all. I grabbed a bunch of my daughter's hair ties and I separated them all. We have 12 different brands. Perfect. Okay, there you are, Patricia. Patricia, if you need the email, it's !email, or just hello@emilyillustrator.com. But anyway, so we've got them all rubber banded and separated, but let's take a look at our worksheets first that we're going to do. Okay, so we have got, these are the blank gold practice worksheets, the ones that we're going to be going over today. I already filled out and printed them, but we're going to recolor them. Like, I'm going to color them with you today. So these are what it should look like when it's done. Now, it kind of just sounds good, Jennifer. It kind of depends on how far we get. I don't know that I'll have time to color them all in, just because it may take a while. But what you should leave here with today is a list of all 12 different color combinations. Now, and to clarify, we're not doing a bunch of different gold colors. Yes, sorry. Yeah, can we get some hypes in chat for Evelyn? Sorry, I've got a list of things. If you are a member, you can use the fancy little emotes, or you can type !hype. Thank you so much, Kat. Let's see if that catches up. There we go. Perfect. There we go. There we go. Iselina's got them. Very nice. Oh, perfect, Mary. So you should leave here today with 2 pages of these that have all of the list of pencil combinations. So we're going to go through there. The other worksheets that we have are, this is the gold coloring worksheet, shapes. This will give you a bunch of different shapes to practice your shine on and your shades and all of that. There's 2 of each so you can practice. But the other thing is, I had put 2 gold rings on here, and rings are still, oh, I already made it, Iselina. It's this one here. It's the Super Steve emote. Joanna. Well, I just had my nail polish after stream last night. I closed things down and I just painted the nails. Hi, Allie. So I realized that gold is a gold ring is a really good way to practice coloring gold. So I made another gold worksheet, practice worksheet, that is here. And it's got rings facing in 2 different directions. Loads of them, though, so you can practice. And again, let me preface this. I've said this before. I'm not a hyper-realistic artist. I'm gonna show you how I do it, only because this is, people have asked, and people ask for the color combination. So this is not the end all and be all way to color gold or the gold combination. This is me sharing with you how I color gold and how I get the looks and stuff that I do. There are some great artists out there that are fantastic at the realism. You've got obviously Lisa Matrokin is fantastic. Chris Chang is absolutely wonderful. If you look at Fayn on Instagram, Faynn, I don't know that she has a YouTube page, but she's also really good. So there are plenty of illustrators and colorists that are probably better at this than I am. So what I'm sharing with you today are the worksheets to practice and the color combinations that I choose and how I color them. Now, just gold today, Allie, mostly because not everybody has the same brands of pencils, so I wanted to get in as many different brands as we could, so I don't want to overcomplicate it. So we're doing kind of one style of gold, but we're covering a lot of different brands so that everybody, I mean, I've got anything from Crayolas all the way to the Caran D'Ache Luminance. We're going to cover some pastels. We're going to cover some watercolors. So it's mostly about different brands so that everybody can have some sort of combination. Like I said, there's 12 of them, so I'm hoping that somebody has something that I'm working with today. So that is what we're gonna do, and then we've got these different ones over here. So, and if you don't have a printer, that's just fine. All you need is to draw a little circle to fill these in and just a piece of paper to write them down. Okay? All right, and hello to everybody coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I apologize if I didn't get to everybody's name, but I want to make sure. My goal is no more than 3 hours today. It may be shorter, I don't know, but yeah, no more than 3 hours today was my plan. All right, so let's go over first what pencil brands we are going to use today. I listed them all in the description below, as well as links where you can purchase them or find them if you still want to. As well as a link to my website. You can type in !website and go to the download section, and you will be able to download all of these worksheets. If you scroll down, it's near the bottom. PBJ, nice. Yeah, I had some cheese and some deli meat right before this. We had a late breakfast this morning. The kids and I made banana muffins, and we had scrambled eggs. So that was good. All right, so here are our pencil combinations, okay? So if you have these, grab them. If you have all of them, grab all of them, whatever you want to do, okay? So first on our list is going to be the, let's see, I've got too many of them here, the Artezas, all right? So we've got the Arteza Colored Pencils. Now, ask you where the new printer comes in. Awesome. Perfect, Islena. Yeah, they're also in the Facebook group. So if you're on the Facebook group, you can find it there. But on the website, it's just the download section, and you navigate down to the worksheets, and you can just click, and it's a PDF that you can just download and print. Okay, so you'll see that I use maybe not like this one for Arteza. It's got like 6 colors. Ergosoft only has 5. It really just depends on the brand and what colors are available. So we're going to start with Arteza. And if there's something, because I have so much information to go over and because there's so many in here, normally I can kind of weed it out. But just for today, if you have something, a question or something you want to ask or something, just put it all in caps, and I will probably be more likely to notice it. So if I miss your message, I apologize. It's not intentional. Okay, so we're gonna have the Arteza Colored Pencils. These colors will also work for, because I thought about doing the Arteza watercolor, but it's the same color combinations, and we're gonna cover how to blend the watercolors on this one too. So it'll be the same color combinations for something like the Arteza watercolors. So the first ones will be Arteza. Then we will have, let's see. Where are they? The Stabilo pastels, because I want to make sure that we use the different kinds. So like we're going to have regular color pencils. We've got pastels. We have got the Derwent watercolor. And as far as the Derwent watercolor, I don't know if the color names are the same for the Colorsoft or any of the other Derwent brands, but this should give you, by the time we're done, you'll get a pretty good idea of, you know, use a brown, use kind of a lighter brown, a lighter yellow, and a real light yellow kind of thing. You'll get the idea. Sounds good, Kenny. You'll get the idea of kind of how to choose your color combinations when you start venturing into your other brands. I mean, I have other brands of pencils, and I didn't do them all. At some point, I had to draw the line and be like, wow, 12's a lot. No, the Derwent ink tints are very different. These are just the Derwent watercolors. Derwent ink tints are much more vibrant and have a little bit of a different feel to it. Let's see. We also have the Caran D'Ache Luminance. We're going to do the Irojiten Tombow. We have the Prismacolors, which I have just an itty bitty deco yellow, but I was relieved to actually find it because I was like, oh no. All right, so Arteza, Stabilo, Derwent Watercolor, Luminance. We've got the Irojiten, Prismacolor. The other ones that we're going to have combinations for are the Faber Castell Polychromos. We have the Schpirerr Farben. We're going to do the Black Widow. We also have the Staedtler Ergosoft. Let's see, the Crayola. I wanted to make sure we threw in the pretty, I mean, Crayolas are known as pretty strongly budget color pencils, but a lot of people don't use them because they don't think they can get the effect they want out of them. But I wanted to show today that, you know, you don't need super expensive pencils. You can also get the same effect with something as basic as Crayola. And the last one are the Castle Arts. Keep chatting, I'm almost home. Marilyn. Hi, Tanya. Okay, so, ooh, almost bumped it. So priority-wise, I want to make sure that we can get to the pastels today and the watercolors. Definitely the Crayola. I want to do the Ergosoft because it's such a limited color, so I want to show you that one. Let's see. We'll do Polychromos, because I'm choosing 6 that I know for sure I want to get to. Let's see. Let's see, what do we want to choose for our 6th one that we'll for sure get to? Maybe Prismacolor? Probably Prismacolor. And then if we have time, we'll fill in the other ones. You're still going to get the color combinations for these ones, don't worry. I didn't borrow Steve's pencils. I did not, no. And mostly because I also had already made up these color combinations. The only ones that I changed from when I initially made this Prismas, yep, got the Prismas, that I initially made from the stream before, because like I said, I was supposed to do the stream 2 months ago, and then I had to, oh, thanks, Tanya. And then I had the surgery and everything, so I had to postpone it. And so the only one I changed was that I did have Arteza watercolor on here, but I had since gotten a few new pencil sets, and I was like, well, Arteza is going to be the same colors either way. So I eliminated the Arteza watercolor, and we're going to do the Castle Arts instead of those. All right, so let's go ahead and start with, what did we choose here? Ergosoft, Crayola, Derwent. Ooh, did I grab? Make sure I've got my paintbrush here. One sec. Ah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I've got my water brush here. Okay. Oh, awesome, Sherry. Got my tea here. It's a little bit hot still. All right. So we'll go ahead and go through these 6, and then we'll talk about the other combinations. I'm going to give you those, and then we will practice on some of these images. All right. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and start with, let's grab a pen here so we can write this nice and clear. Let's start with, let's do an easy one to warm up with. Now, I am not going to use any, oh, I'm so glad, Angela. I am not going to use any white or blender pencil to blend these, just because I want it to be pretty, pretty even all the way throughout. That being said, if you want to, you can also use white to blend, or I recommend the Caran D'Ache blender. They're actually like only $6-something on Amazon right now, so it's also a good time to get them. All right, so I'm gonna set these ones over here. All right, and we're gonna zoom on in to this first section here. Yeah, I was seeing you all pile in at the beginning, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. Like, I don't usually get nervous anymore, but I was just like, oh, that's so many, I don't want to disappoint, you know? Okay, adjust that light just a little bit. All right, so the first one we are going to do will be the, let me look at my list here, the Prismacolor. And the paper that I have this on, you can type in exclamation point paper, but you can also do it on whatever you want. I mean, these are practice sheets. And so the most important thing is you're going to be getting the color combinations and names and stuff so that you can reference this later. Oh, thanks, Kenny. Oh, Joanna, you all are sweet. Well, there's so much hype around it, you know. I want to make sure, oh, thanks, Wendy. I just want to make sure you guys, you know, like I said, sometimes, you know, I feel a little, because I don't do hyper realistic, but, you know, like I said, in a lot of my pictures, I just go for, I want it to look nice. You know what I mean? And as long as I've got that down, then I'm happy with that. All right, we're going to pop this Deco Yellow in the little pencil extender here because it's nice and teeny tiny. Oh, awesome, Isalina. All right, we're also going to give this a quick sharpen. I probably should have sharpened all these before I began, but what are you going to do? Okay. Used a gold gel pen. I do have some good gold gel pens. Actually, I have an ink. Oh, it's buried right now, but there's a Winsor & Newton gold ink that I absolutely love. I use for embellishments. If you go to my channel, my video with the highest views, I think it's like 71,000, and you'll see it on the list on the main page. I'm coloring a green leaf, but at the end of that, I use this gold ink, and it's just like, it just shimmers like as it's on there. It's like a liquid bottle and you use a brush, but still it's really cool. Spooky Oreos. Oh, is that the kind with like the orange filling on the inside? Okay, so first color is first. We are going to be using sepia or sepia. I don't know. What do you guys call it? Sepia or sepia? Okay. I'm going to do a little swatch here. Oh, sounds good, Kat. Yeah, it's speedy today. All right, so excuse my handwriting. I'll show you guys my typed lists when we're all done too. Okay, and that is PC 948. Okay. Then our next color is going to be light umber. Probably should give this one a quick sharpen too. The Nina paper is wonderful, wonderful. I had these already printed out, which is why I'm using my original paper, but sepia, okay, with a long E. Kat was lovely enough to send me a pack, and so I got to try it for the first time, and I love the Nina paper. It's so nice. And it does the Arteza art markers really well. Okay, so for our next color, it is light umber. Okay, and that is PC 941. After we get these all written down, then we'll go ahead and fill in the circle, all right? Then we have yellow ochre. Okay. So yellow ochre. PC 942, and if you hear the kiddos, it's just because they're home right now. I think Steve's gonna take them out for a walk later. But that's the price we pay for streaming during the day. Oh, awesome, Angela. Okay, and then we're gonna have canary yellow. And the nice thing is you'll be able to use this paper as a reference later when you're coloring your own pictures and you're trying to figure out a gold combination. Canary yellow, PC 916. And then lastly, we have Deco yellow. I love the Deco line. Like, I wish, like, what is it? Deco aqua and Deco blue or something like that. I wish they would have continued them. Okay, so Deco yellow. And that is PC 1011. Okay. All right, so we are going to start with sepia. Okay. And you can see here, now keep in mind this is reprinted here, so the colors aren't exactly true. So, but this is what we're going to be going for today, and this is the list here. If you want to screenshot that or something, I mean, we've got it here too, but I'll pop these up on screen at the end here so you can screenshot whichever ones you want here. Okay. What's Deco? Well, Deco is just the name that Prismacolor gives. So there's like Deco Yellow. I have Deco Orange. That one's discontinued. Deco Pink is really nice. So like a lot of the light colors. So the new sets don't have yellow. No, they do. They do. They just don't carry some Deco colors like Deco Orange and Deco Aqua. Your set is newer. It should have it. I don't think they discontinued Deco Yellow. If for some reason you don't have Deco Yellow, you could also use Cream. Cream would probably be a good one, but I don't think they discontinued Deco Yellow yet. All right, so we're gonna use sepia first, okay? Make sure I'm not blocking it too much. Oh, awesome, Kenny. Well, by the end of this, you should have so many different combinations. It's kind of ridiculous. Super Steve! Hi, Super Steve! All the new sets have Deco Yellow. Okay, perfect, perfect. For those of you who are new and don't know, Super Steve is my hubby. He sometimes assists in streams. We have Steve streams. Highly entertaining, always with a good story. Okay, so I'm starting out with a light layer. The thing of it is, Kat said something last night that rings very true, is that it's always better to start out lighter because you can always add more color, but it's a lot more difficult to remove color. So if you're hesitant or you're nervous, start out with light layers. You can always add more to it. I think Deco is short for Art Deco because soft colors were very popular in the 1920s. Yes, Kat, I think you are right. I think you are very right. You can tell I was looking at chat because I went off in the wrong direction. That's what happened when you're sketching and then you get distracted. Go off in the wrong direction here. Okay, so I will glance up at chat when I can, but again, if I miss your message, I apologize. I don't want to give you guys wonky colors here. Okay, so we're starting with that sepia. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab light umber. Yes, he has his own little emote. He's Super Steve. All right, now we're going to use our light umber. And I'm kind of starting on sepia here. And the key is not to have any, you're not pressing so hard that you have any harsh lines or anything, because that is going to be harder to create a nice kind of easy blend. So for sure, go lighter. Little circles definitely helps. And you may use different directions when you are doing a different shape, which we will cover when we start coloring the other shapes. Why is the outfit not black and yellow? Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that, April. I was thinking like Superman colors, but I may have to change that now because it could be S for Steve and S for the Steelers. That is a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, our Super Steve emoji I think is going to have to change. Okay, we're just kind of doing a crescent shape right now. Okay, still kind of nice and light on the edge. He wants an emote. Well, we get enough members, we can unlock another emote. We'll have to figure out another one to do. Maybe just an in general, Brian and John and Andrew and Steve, a boy coloring one, or like a hubby emote, a generalized hubby emote. Oh, he wants a Jets one. Okay, what are the Jets colors? That's like teal, like a teal, like a kind of muted teal. All right, yellow ochre is next. Still kind of following that crescent shape. And this is just for the circle too. We're gonna have different shapes for the little individual items. The Hubby Club, yes. Well, see, Joanna, you just gotta get him to start coloring too. Purple and black. Yeah, we're gonna bring this just on the edge here a little bit. Okay, if you go out of the lines, you can always erase it. Not a big deal. So like I said, I don't go for hyper-realism much, but this is just kind of showing you how you can blend all 5 of these colors together. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and grab Canary Yellow. Okay, real lightly. We're going to go over this other space, and we're going to be doing another layer of this too. At least 2 layers, if not 3, depending on how dark you want it. And like I said, if you really want to, you can go over it with like the Caran D'Ache blender or the white one. Then he gets into my stuff. Gotta get him his own stuff, Joanna. All right, so now Deco Yellow. Okay, I'm leaving just a tiny bit of white here in the middle. Yeah, there you go, Ruthie. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab the sepia again. See, and if I were to go over this with the Caran D'Ache blender, you could see how much, like, kind of brighter, and it would, like, pop out. Okay, Iselina, I hope she feels better. Talk a bit realistic. I did the vampire face in the Dracula daughter pick from the Davidsons, and it came out so good. Oh, awesome, Sherry. Okay, now we're going to use light umber again. I don't know. Do you want me to show you with the Caran D'Ache blender when I'm done with this color? Kind of as an example to see how much it changes. Let me know in chat if you want me to use that. Okay, that's good, Islena. All right, and then yellow ochre. This is that kind of good mid color between the darker colors and the lighter yellows. Share life, but not our pencils. Yes, with the blender? Okay, yeah, I can do the blender. Yes, Kat sent Steve his own. I had a hard time sharing. So I feel you on that one. Okay, yeah, we'll use the blender after we get these colors down. And it works particularly good with other wax pencils, but that's one of the reasons that I really enjoy the Caran D'Ache blender, because it works on wax and oil pencils. Okay, and now we're going to use the Canary Yellow again. Bring the yellow all the way back here. Steve's pretty good with the cookware. Okay. You always make sure there's like a layer of cloth between my nice Calphalon pans. All right, and then we have the Deco Yellow. Kind of filling in that last space. Okay, so this is basically how you would blend that. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is I'll grab the Caran D'Ache blender. When you buy them on Amazon, they cost Canadian. I just wanted to say that the 96 Schpirerr Farben cost 169 Canadian on the Canadian Amazon, but when you buy them US Amazon, they cost Canadian. Oh, how funny, Christian. Interesting. Okay, so I am going to start from the light side in, because if I start from the dark, there's the potential that I could drag the dark color into the light and kind of muddy it up a little bit. So we're going to start on the lightest portion here, pressing a little bit harder. You can already see that that yellow is starting to brighten up. And again, I'm going in little circles. Edges there. Now, generally, you use the blender last, but it's not unheard of if you wanted to add a little bit more color on top. Get our brush, sweep this away. All right, so now I'm going to take the sepia and I'm going to darken up these edges just a little bit. It's a little bit harder when you do the oil pencils on top of the blender already. And I would not recommend this if you're using the Prismacolor blender, because the way that the Caran D'Ache one is it feels like it deposits a little bit of wax on there. And so you can still move it around a bit. With the Prismacolor blender, it doesn't really do that. It kind of just scratches it. So, but if you're using the Caran D'Ache blender, you can still kind of blend it afterwards. So now I've added that sepia. I'm just going to go back over and smooth it out just a smidge. All right. Okay, so that is the... I just blew the screen with a blender chip. That's hilarious, Robin. Yes, Kat, exactly, exactly. So this is the Prismacolor blend, okay? It looks pretty yellow on your guys' screen, but I suppose I could take a picture of this when we're all done too. But it gives you a pretty idea of what the gold for Prismacolor is like. All right, the next one we are going to do is we are going to do the pastel. So I'm gonna grab my little blender stumps. Where did I put those? Hang on, one sec. Blender stump, blender stump, blender stump. Here it is. Okay, so you have a couple things that you can use. I've got a few different blender tools here. Ooh. Okay, grab my little X-Acto knife here, because I did not clean these from the last time I used them. This is my favorite one. It's a more compacted paper blender. You could also use a Q-tip or this blender paper stump, but this is a little bit more squishy and it flattens out a little bit more. So I recommend this more compact one. And the way that I clean this off is I actually just take the X-Acto knife and I just kind of, you could also use like some sandpaper if you wanted to. But for me, this is the most efficient way that I kind of clean off the tip a little bit. Okay. So let's sweep that off. Now it's all over my shirt. All right, so now let's move our Prismacolors to the side. Okay. Sandpaper. Yep, sandpaper is definitely an option. Okay, let's grab our pen. So now we are going to do the Stabilo CarbOthello Pastel Pencils. Okay. So this is Stabilo CarbOthello Pastel Pencils. Okay. And then our colors that we're going to use for that, let's grab this here. All right, so for the pastel pencils, these don't have names, they just have numbers. So we have, let's take the band off here. Okay, so first one is going to be number 635. Okay, that's this one here. Scratchy sound, it's so satisfying. All right, so the number on this one is 1400/635. They all have the 1400 before it. Let's see, how many are we doing? We are doing 5 colors. Okay, so that is that one. Our next color is going to be 610, which is this one here. Okay, 610. Our next color is going to be 615. Oh, that scratchiness. Here, I'll move the mic down. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. Put it real close, see if I can for the next ones. All right, we got the mic like real close to it, okay? All right, our next color is gonna be yellow ochre, which is, or not, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. 205, here I am reading the other ones. No names. All right, here we go. Let's see if you guys can hear this. You'll have to let me know if you can, all right? Here, I'll turn the music off. All right, here we go. I don't know. Were you able to hear that at all? All right. So that is number 205. Okay. And then we have number 695. Okay. Couldn't hear it? Okay, I wondered. I have filters and stuff on, so I wasn't sure if it would pick it up. Okay. Now, I have to be careful sweeping this away because it is pastel, so it's going to smear a little bit. Oh, definitely. Well, think of it, it's almost like chalk, Allie. And they're very, very soft. If you were to press pretty hard, you would just crumble them. But they're pastels. They are great for... Oh, you heard it? Okay, awesome. They are great for backgrounds and such. So it definitely takes a little bit of a hand practicing them. All right, so first up we have 635, okay? They're pretty dark when you first lay down color. Here, let me shift this over here. This is our main attraction here. I probably shouldn't try to cover it up too much. Okay, doing that kind of crescent moon shape a little bit. And then we've got number 610. I'm not going over the other colors too much, just because of the way pastels lay on top of each other. It would kind of wash out that darker color. Now, after we blend it, we could always add a little bit more, but you just want to kind of go slowly. This is awesome. Never knew how to do gold with pastels. Well, perfect. Well, you'll be able to come away with a nice color combination. Are you doing the Faber Castell pastels, or would the numbers be same as Polychromos? That I don't know, Wendy, because I am not familiar with the Faber Castell pastels. But if anybody has, oh, perfect, Christine. If anybody has the Faber Castell pastels, let her know, because the colors that we're going to be using for the Polychromos is going to be dark sepia, nougat, brown ochre, light chrome yellow, cream, and ivory. So we'll have 6 different colors. So you'll be able to compare to see if you have the pastels, you can see if the colors match up. But pastel pencils are a little harder. A little bit, yeah. I mean, you have your compressed sticks. For these ones, these are nice because you're not getting pastel all over your hands. It's very contained. I really enjoy these. I wasn't sure how I felt about them, but I really like them. And like I said before, all of the links for all of the pencils that we're doing today, even if we don't get to doing all of them, are in the description below. So if you want to add them to your wish list or check them out or read reviews, it's all down there. All right, so now number 205. The number of the Faber Castell pastels and the polys are the same. Perfect. Okay, Connie has it right there. So the numbers will be the same, so it should work just fine. All right, so now number 205. And you can see they're kind of blending in with each other already. I'm going to bring this yellow up around this edge here. Okay. And then number 695. Oh, no worries, Ray. If you type in !late, we have a saying for that. Okay, I want to make sure I leave a little bit of white on the inside. Okay, I was gonna, I'm gonna blow this one rather than sweep it because it will smear pastel everywhere. So hang on. That's a little bit better. All right, so now we're gonna grab our blending stump. Okay, I know it looks a little shifty right now, but there you go. See, you're never late. You arrive precisely when you mean to. So we're going to start from the white side in, because especially since you're going to move so much of this pastel around, it's really easy to bleed it into it, and all of this dark could completely overwhelm this yellow. So we're going to start on the edge of the yellow here. We're going to start to smooth that out. We're going to work our way in. Kind of almost a spiral a little bit there to begin with. Okay. A bit more. If you want, you can kind of wipe it a little bit. I have a tendency to wipe things on the my pants just because it's here. If you have a cloth or a paper towel nearby, that'll work also. Okay, so you can see here we have kind of like a little bit of a harsh line that I don't really want. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to grab the 205, which was our second to last yellow. We're going to go back over this again. Press a little bit harder. Okay. And we're going to bring just a little bit more of that in. Okay, we could also grab a little bit of this 610 here, which was this color here. No more of the super dark color. Okay, now let's grab our blender again. Is this a good rule of thumb for pastel pencils in general? Starting from the lighter side? Yes, most definitely. Pastels move around so much that it's really easy to contaminate the other color. So definitely start with your lighter colors to move in. Otherwise, your dark colors are going to completely overwhelm your light colors. Okay. So if we want, we can add a little bit more of 695, kind of fill in that white. Okay. And then we'll take this, blend it just a little bit more, and you can leave however much or however little of the white that you want. Okay. Still a little bit of a line there, so we're going to take just a smidge more of this yellow. Bring that in here. Okay. And we could take a little bit of this. Kind of help smooth that out just a little bit. And actually, we may leave that without blending it anymore. I know it's looking like there's a harsh line in the light, but I swear in real life this looks just fine. Okay, I'm going to turn on my fan real quick. Yeah, white is the reflection. It's like the highlight of it, which we will reference more when we get to our worksheets where there is a bit of a ridge. Let's see, where is it? Actually, you know what? This is a really good example. So this is my little gold ring here. We got this, Steve got this for me for our 10-year anniversary. It was absolutely perfect. It was a ring in the jewelry shop that had been returned, and it was perfect my size. This is exactly what I wanted. But you can see here, and you can also see there's some darker colors. It's also reflecting the camera here. So if you get brave enough and adventurous enough, you can start where you start to bring in like direct whites and some blacks, and you really get a nice sheen. Jennifer Zimmerman is really, really good at that. But you can see there's always a bit of a highlight. I mean, I literally have 3 different lights going on, so I'm getting lots of strange reflections, but you can see there's always going to be that, you know, you can even see on my nails that there is a nice bright reflection. Okay, I turned that fan on too high. Go, put that on low. So when you're doing gold, to give it that kind of metallic sheen, you always want to make sure that you leave a bit of a highlight. Okay, let me pop these headphones back in here. Thanks, Kenny. All right. Okay, so next one we are going to do is, let's go ahead and do the Crayola next. All right, let's see. How are we doing for time? 1:43, we're doing okay. Like I said, at the very least, I want to fit in 6 of them. You'll leave with all 12 combinations, and then I want to have time to do the other worksheets as well. Okay, so next we're going to do, we are going to do the Crayolas. Move this to the side here. Okay. Mama Vice. All right, Crayolas, here we are. All right, let's take our little rubber band off these. I rubber banded them just so I didn't have to sort them out. I hated my Crayolas too hard. They are very hard, but that's where having a light hand comes in handy. Now, I don't remember if the Caran D'Ache blender works well on the Crayolas, but we will test it out when we are done blending, and we'll see what it does for it, okay? All right, so for the Crayolas, we're using 5 colors. All right, so these are Crayola. I mean, just because they're Crayolas doesn't mean you can't get a beautiful picture with it. It's just all about using a light hand, doing your layers, all of that. Okay, so first color for the Crayolas is going to be our dark brown. Crayolas are definitely hard. They're a little bit glossy, which makes it a little bit difficult. They slide across the paper a little bit more. But this is also coming from we had just used the pastel pencils. So that's obviously going to make a world of difference as well. All right, the name of this color, they don't have numbers, but the name of this color is Beaver. I bought them for the kids of my brother, and I was surprised how vibrant they were. Yes, they are very vibrant for sure. Yeah, these are just the straight up, let me grab the box real quick. Like, these are the pencils that I buy my kids. Like, these are the, you know, Walmart or Target or, you know, whatever, ooh, one second. Whatever craft section you have basic Crayolas. These are them. Look at all those lights glaring off of it. But yeah, this is, I think I've actually even, I think some of the colors ended up in the kids thing. But these are just legitimately the basic colored pencils. And these came out of the 100 set, so I can't guarantee that like the smaller sets would have all of these colors. But yeah, this is the 100 set. I want to say it's like $17, $15 or something. It's pretty inexpensive. Okay. Moving from Faber Castell to Prismacolor. Oh, most definitely, Wendy. They are very, those two pencils are like night and day. Night and day. Yes, exactly, Kat. Because like originally I was using nothing but Prismacolor for a while. And so Steve got me a 12 set of Faber Castells one year because I'd heard so much about them. I'm like, surely they've got to be fantastic. And I tried them and I was just like, ugh. Yeah, exactly. $13.50 for 100 pencils. I mean, yeah, talk about budget pencils. So it's just all about using a light hand and getting to know your layers, really. Okay, so this one is, our next color is bronze yellow. Okay. Bronze yellow. All right, and then next is harvest gold. But that's why I wanted to include them today too, because I didn't want to just include, you know, all the fancier sets or anything. I mean, I wanted to include the absolute, you know, budget of budget pencils here. Just so that there's such a wide variety for everyone, you know? All right, so harvest gold. Truth be told, you could probably, I don't know how many colors are in crayons, but you could use this same method of gold for just Crayola crayons as well. I should have grabbed some of the kids just to test that out. Just for the fun of it. All right, and then we have, this is just, the name of it is just, it's yellow, straight up yellow. Okay. And if anybody's curious, this really nice pen is the, it's an Arteza gel pen. I really like them. Okay. My Stabilo gold ball looks like a gumball gone wrong. Oh, how funny. Oh, Christine, thanks. Okay, so the next one, this is Daffodil. Not to mention, us adults can show our kids this gold combo for their Crayolas. Exactly. Do the magic lamp with these colors. Perfect. All right, so this one is called Daffodil. Okay. All right. Now it's time to show you how it's done. Any oil pastels? No, and that's partially because, Connie, I am abysmal with oil pastels. I have not mastered those, like, at all. I wouldn't even begin to know how to show you how to blend those. Oh, awesome, Wendy. That'll be fun. I got some, like, Caran D'Ache wax pastels, and I still don't know how to use. They're supposed to be water soluble, but I couldn't get them to work. There aren't a ton of art supplies that totally like loses me, but when you start to move from like chalk pastels, I'm just like, they're too messy. I don't like it. Oh, nice, Sherry. The adult Crayolas are the blend and shades, Crayola Artist Set and Crayola Escapes, which may be the same one as the other I mentioned. Oh, okay, very cool. Yes, Shannon, can you do gold oil pastels? I'm just giving these a quick sharpen. I'll say the wood is like much harder on these ones, so it's a little bit more difficult to get a nice smooth sharpen on, which, by the way, if you're looking for a good sharpener, I use this one. It is the Doll 133 hand crank sharpener. I decked it out a little bit, but you can type !sharpener, and yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. All right, let's get that back in focus, shall we? There we go. All right. I have the Pentel gel pens. Are there Pentel pencils? Or it might be exclamation point doll. I can't remember. Like D-A-H-L-E. Or it might be exclamation point sharp. Exclamation point sharp. It might be one of those. I'm not sure. It's hard remembering all the color combinations. All right, so we are going to start with Beaver. And again, it's just about starting with light layers. See, now I feel bad. You guys are trying all the color. I want to sharp. There we go. Yep, it was. Exclamation point sharp. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, with the light layer, there's not a ton of pigment that's coming down on this. Funny thing is in my early years, I did not know much about different pencil brands. I wish I could have gone back to my younger self, be like, no, use these ones. They're magical. I love geeking out on art supplies, though. It's so much fun. Yeah, you definitely need more layers with this. As you can see, it's pretty light at the moment. Sorry, I'll try not to... Third time lucky. Yeah, there you go. All right, and then we are going to, next is the bronze yellow. We're gonna go over the beaver a little bit. I gotta say, this is my first pencil set that has used the name beaver as a color, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense, but still, this is kind of silly. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this stream, but I'm sure glad we're here now. Like I said, this looks pretty light at the moment, but with Crayolas, you need to have a light hand if you're going to blend these. Because the colors, the pigments definitely don't, well, for lack of a better term, smoosh together the way Prismacolors do. All right, next we're going to use Harvest Gold. Oh, Prang, okay. I haven't tried the Prang ones. I mean, I might have at one point, but... These, in a sense, remind me a bit of the Irojitens in the sense that not a lot of pigment comes out of them naturally. Because I'm using about as much pressure as I used on the Prismacolors, and you can see there's not a ton coming out. We're gonna do a little bit more layers and darken it up a little bit when we get there. All right, so now we've got yellow. Oh, it's the student version. Okay. That's kind of like the Prismacolor Scholars. I feel like I got a sneeze coming on. All right, and then we're gonna grab Daffodil. I mean, I'm using the same basic method for blending all of these too. So once you kind of learn how to do light layers and transition your colors, then it'll be much easier for you to get back to it later. So you can see if I zoom out how different like darkness you get from one to the other. So we will be darkening up the Crayola quite a bit. Apologize if anybody's getting dizzy from all my zooming in and out and lighting and everything. All right, so now Beaver. And press a little bit harder. Okay, if you go out of the lines, this is just your practice sheet. Achoo! Thanks, Shannon. now let's go ahead and grab that bronze yellow. In the 96 ones, only yellow. Yeah, so it may be the 100 set that these are in. Well, and the back of the box should list all the colors also. So unmellow yellow. So yeah, we've got yellow and daffodil here. And then down here we've got the bronze yellow and the beaver, and what was the other one? Oh, Harvest Gold was the other one. Yeah, and then Harvest Gold is here. So it'll have all the colors listed on the back of the box if you go and like look at it at the store. All right, so we're using that Harvest Gold now. But that's the thing is too, depending on the space that you're using, it's nice to have at least 5 colors if you can, if not 4. Any less than 4 though, and it's going to be a little bit harder to get this kind of nice smooth gradient. I'm not saying it can't be done, but for ease of transition, it's nicer to have more colors. But sometimes when you're working in a small space, you don't exactly have room for all those colors either. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and grab... Oh, and crayons. Okay, gotcha. Harvest Gold. Might end up doing a 3rd layer on this one since it's so light. But we'll see what the Caran D'Ache blender does to it when we're done. Okay, and then yellow. So it doesn't necessarily have to be these colors exactly either. And Wendy, what you're looking for is you're looking for your darkest color generally is going to be a brown. And then your next color will be, the bronze is really nice, but if you can't find it, you know, something like, you know, like the light, like a light umber style, and then kind of like a mid, almost orangey yellow, not brightly orange, but almost an orangey yellow, and then a normal yellow, and then a nice light color to follow it up. Oh, thanks, Sherry. You're gonna make me nervous. And then daffodil here. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do one more layer. Okay. So like I said, yes, they're Crayola, but it's very possible to still get nice blends with Crayola as long as you're using nice light layers. So we're doing our 3rd layer now, just kind of slowly building it up. Again, like Kat said the other night, it's a lot easier to add colors than it is to take away colors. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and grab bronze yellow. And then, like I said, we'll use the blender just to kind of see what effect we can get with the blender. Yes, Kat, exactly. All right, Harvest Gold. Yes, blue and orange are wonderful together. It's the reason the Broncos have those colors. Okay, and then let's grab our yellow. Definitely darkening up quite a bit compared to what it was at the beginning. And daffodil. Okay. All right, so at this point, depending on what I was coloring, I would maybe do another layer. Let's see, when I did the Crayola before, you know, I got it pretty dark, but I don't remember how many layers I did on this. And remember too, this was scanned and reprinted, so this isn't the true colors either. But I did get it a little bit darker before. So let's go ahead and try. Oh, awesome, Ashley. Beer stew. Interesting. Let's go ahead and try the Caran D'Ache blender now that we can see how this looks without, and we'll see what it does for it, okay? So it's darkening it up a little bit. Smoothing out the tooth of the paper just a bit. I know I started with the darker part, so if you forgot and started with darker like I just did, you can always wipe off the tip of your blender so that you're not dragging that in, and then do that lighter middle part. But yeah, I think that actually worked really nice with it. So now if you want to go ahead and grab your beaver color, maybe take that edge. Here. Darken it up just a smidge. There you go. Let's grab that Harvest Gold. I don't think you could have gotten that same effect if you had used the Prismacolor blender, because it's just too scratchy. But the Caran D'Ache blenders are fantastic. Like I said, the 2-pack is like only $6.50 or so right now on Amazon. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on out. Let's fix the light here. All right, so these are our 3 that we have so far, okay? So we've got the Prismacolor, the Stabilo Pastel, and the Crayola. And see, like I said, we got a nice gold color with the Crayola. It's just about, not all pencils work the same on different paper. That is true, but that's also why I have a link to the paper that I'm using. You can type in ! paper, and that is what I'm using today. Here we go. All right. So that is the Crayola. Hey, there we go, an hour in and we've got 3 done. But we also talked at the beginning for a little bit. All right, so next, let's go ahead. Do we want to try some watercolor? See how we can get the watercolor blend? All right, so we're going to use Derwent Watercolor for our next one. Okay. We have 5 colors for our Derwent Watercolor. Let's go ahead and zoom on in, brighten this up just a tad. There we go. All right, so for the Derwent Watercolor, let's put in our title here so we know what we're using. Okay, so this is Derwent Watercolor, or O-U-R if you're spelling it the UK way. All right, so first we have Van Dyke Brown. Okay. Let's see, how many? Van Dyke is 1 word. It's funny, some pencil sets spell Van Dyke as 2 words, some spell it as 1. Excuse my handwriting. Again, I will show you the nice printed versions that have all the color combinations at the end here. Is due to people blaming the pencils when in reality it could be the paper they're using. Oh, most definitely. Some paper has absolutely no tooth. Some paper is too smooth. So it really just depends on. Wondering if the paper I use is the reason I have so much issues with the Pablos. It's possible. It's possible. But I also haven't used the Pablos, so I can't say for sure. All right, and then we have bronze. So when you color on paper without the water for these, it's definitely got a little bit of a chalky feel to it. All right, so let's see, where did that one go? Derwent Watercolor. So we have bronze, number 52. Okay, the next one is going to be golden brown, 59. Okay. Pooth paper? I have no idea. It's a really special paper. I just invented it. All right, deep cadmium. Deep cadmium, number 6. And lemon cadmium. And I did put the number on here for some reason, but lemon cadmium, number 2. Canson and Strathmore, nice. All right, so that was the bronze. This is golden brown. Okay, then we have deep cadmium. and lemon cadmium. So this is kind of just the basic, woo, you did not see me throw that pencil. That doesn't happen here. Oh, I'm gonna pick it up. But I mean, I don't have to pick it up because I definitely didn't throw it. Definitely did not. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Issue here, let's get some water flowing on this. All right, so we're just gonna use some water on these colors here so you can see how it changes here, okay? So this is once you add water, and that is it dry. Okay. Highly pigmented. Okay, golden brown. And I'm just kind of cleaning the tip of my brush every time. Let's see. And if I miss any of your comments, if it's something directed at me, I apologize. If you need to, feel free to repeat it and put it in caps so I don't miss anything. No, pencil abuse! Pencil abuse! No, nothing about. No, I'm not bashing anything. Nothing is happening here. Okay. So, we are going to start with Van Dyke Brown. Okay. Now, one of the things to keep in mind about using watercolor pencils is they are a lot less forgiving than regular watercolors. You could do one of two things. You can hold it like this and get your brush just on the pencil portion and use it like that. For today, we're putting pencil on paper because then it acts sort of like regular watercolors do. But I want to show you how it works when you put this. And again, I'm using, if you do exclamation point paper, this paper is like a thicker cardstock. I want to say it's an 80 pound. If you're doing regular just computer paper for note taking, it is definitely going to buckle, and it will definitely, the paper will pill up a little bit. Can you give me some tips on using those water brushes? I got that set that you talked about. So one of the things that you really want to do that helps control the flow, make sure that the bottle of your paintbrush is always full. The more empty it gets, the more pressure that you're going to have to put to squeeze it out, and it's a lot more difficult to control. I forgot to grab paper towels, so I just have a regular tissue. And so always make sure you have something, whether it's a reusable cloth, to kind of dab your paintbrush on to clean it as you go along, or maybe just dab off excess water. Because the key to using these, this is an Arteza one, is to control the flow of the water for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and, oh no, cat! Let's go ahead and start with Van Dyke Brown. And we're going to do the same kind of thing that we did with the others, where we kind of start with that crescent shape. And then you have trouble filling them up, just a real thin stream from your faucet, Sherry, like as small as you can. And if you have a hard time getting a real thin stream to fill it up, use an eyedropper if you have it. Or like I have, you know, since we have kids, we've got those kid liquid medicine syringes. That would work real good too. I saw somebody that used a spray bottle and turned the nozzle. Maybe it was Schpirerr. Was it you that did that? You turn the nozzle till you have a real thin stream, and then use that and squeeze the water into it also. Just, you know, do it over a sink so you're not getting water everywhere. But yeah, generally when I fill it up, I just use a real thin stream from the faucet. Now, the same thing with pastels, that when you start using water on these, especially when you're doing a blend like this, you want to start on your lightest color or even in the white area of it. Oh, perfectly. Yes, it was you, Cheryl. Okay, I'm glad I remembered. Is start on the white area so you don't drag in this darker color to your lighter spaces. Okay, so we're just going nice and light. Again, these let out a lot of pigment, so you could potentially get too much pigment on your paper if you press too hard. These are only my cheapest pencils, and put rugs to try and save my expense. Oh, on rugs. I gotcha. Well, see, I have carpeted flooring underneath, so it's not totally tragic, but if the pencil like hits the desk and then hits the chair on its way down, and I definitely cringe a little bit. Not that that ever happens, because I don't, you know, drop my fancy pencils. All right, so we're starting with that Van Dyke Brown. And you see too how much color you get from this pigment. So just keep that in mind when you decide how much you're gonna do layering. All right, so now we're gonna grab our bronze. Same with that kind of crescent shape. Oh, for sure, Shara. I probably would have shattered many pencils by now. Not that I would have, because I don't drop pencils. I'm innocent, I tell you, I'm innocent. I've never been recorded dropping pencils, ever. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nice and light. Funny thing is, initially, Shara, I read that as limbo, and I was like, who's doing the limbo? Oh no, we never drop pencils or let dogs run off them. Okay, not the dogs thing for me, but the cat has definitely knocked it around. I mean, the cat hasn't knocked them around. I'm not fibbing, I swear. Hi, Jilly. Okay, now golden brown. It really wouldn't, Kat. It really wouldn't. I'd need a pencil lawyer. Anybody want to be my pencil lawyer? And we can delete all the incriminating evidence from YouTube of me definitely not dropping or tossing my pencils around. Definitely not. Or I could just, you know, accept it all, throw in the towel, and become a pencil juggler. That could be my career, a pencil juggler. Just see how many cringes I can get as I toss the pencils in the air. Oh, how funny, Donna. This is a pencil dropping judge-free zone. Well, thank goodness, because I probably need that. All right, so deep cadmium. Get that kind of yellow and kind of color it over some of the darker colors. Now, I will say this will be a blend that is harder to add pencil on top of. So before you add your water, make sure you got the layers that you want down. Otherwise, the only other way that you could add more color on top is you would need to wait until this dries completely, because then you're going to get a kind of different laying down of the pigment and it will just kind of throw off the whole thing. So make sure, if you can, that the water is the last thing that you do. All right, it has teeth marks on it. Oh, how funny. All right, so now lemon cadmium. Okay, I definitely want to get, I think, one more layer of colors on here. I yell out every time my kid asks, drop another pencil. Sometimes they flip. So far, he has to help me hunt for them. Oh, how funny. I caught my cat chewing on my pencils. I yelled so loud, scared the heck out of her. Don't think she'll ever do that again. Yeah, probably not, Robin. All right, Van Dyke Brown. Well, and while I have 70 of you in here, don't forget I have an Etsy store where I sell lovely stickers and coloring pages. Yay! Also, we have Spooktober coming up next weekend, so stick around for that. Loads of streamers, colorists, artists, and pictures will go on sale for that on the 27th, where there will be loads of discounts. Feel free to check out all that information in my scheduled Spooktober stream, which you can find on my main YouTube page and has all the links you need. Thanks, Shannon! Oh no, Joanna! Oh goodness. Hashtag quick ad plug right there. I'm done now. Like, there's no denying it when it's all purple. All right, so that's the Van Dyke Brown. And then we're going to use the bronze. Yeah, I wouldn't think so, Aspie. Pop the little cases. Leaking water everywhere. Oh my goodness. My biggest thing is Paul McCartney. He likes to chew my cords, so I have to be careful. Hi, Corolla! Yes! Shameless plug. Well, see, I included Spooktober. It wasn't just for myself. But if I can't plug myself on my own channel, where else can I do it? Alright, golden brown. Yes, it's a daytime stream. right, and then deep cadmium. Well, who do we have that's new in here today? And if you are new, how did you hear about the channel? I am legitimately curious. Okay, deep cadmium. And then lastly, lemon cadmium. And then we are going to start adding some water. This is the part that can get a little bit nerve-wracking for some. So you could add a third layer if you want. Just like I said, keep in mind that this will darken up once we add the water. Okay, so I'm making sure my brush is completely clear here. Okay, oh, got the cap in there. All right, and I'm gonna start from the outside. Now, here's the thing. You need to work quickly when you're doing this, because if you stop and you let it dry, you're gonna have a harsh line that it'll be harder to get rid of. If you're doing regular watercolors, this isn't so much of an issue. But if you are doing watercolor pencils, it dries quickly and it just dries differently. My daughter's watching if she counts as new. I'm not new though. It counts. It counts, April. You bought a friend. You brought a friend. My friend, I mean your daughter. All right, so we're gonna start here with the white and we're gonna work our way out. Okay, so keep your cloth or paper nearby so you can clean as you go along. Oh, awesome, Wendy. I love Color with Claire. She's so talented. All right, here we go. We're gonna get started now with our water. We're starting in the middle. Okay, kind of working our way out. Okay. Little circles here, little circles. Again, feel free to clean as you go, but work quickly. You don't have to use a water brush to do this. You can use a regular paintbrush and water. I just like to use the water brush because of the convenience. And a lot less likely chance that I will knock over my cup of water to clean my brush on my computer. Contained water is a good thing for me because I am incredibly accident prone. Okay, so one of the other things you can do, if you don't want to wait for it to dry and you want to add more, then go ahead. Oh, awesome, Wendy. She was so confused why you're coloring all these circles the same. Guess she missed the explanation. No worries. Kind of news to my second stream viewers I watched. Awesome, Ray. I'm not ready for watercolor. Thanks, Allie. Joanna, thank you. Can we get some hypes in chat for Joanna? If you are a member, you can use those little emotes here. Throw in a couple Super Steves and a TARDIS. Thank you, Joanna. Also, exclamation point hype. Thank you so much, Joanna. You are so sweet. So if you don't want to wait for it to dry entirely, you can do that thing where we did earlier, where I showed you where you can take your brush, get just a little bit on here, and add to it that way also. If you feel maybe it got thinned out too much when you were adding water to it. Let's see, let's grab our golden brown. If you want to add that way, feel free. Oh, Shara! This is for abused pencil therapy. I'm gonna need it. Thank you, Shara. Can we get some hypes in chat for Shara also? So, get these buttons here. Ooh, you'll get a teapot this time. Teapot and a Super Steve. Thank you, Shara. Oh, you all are so sweet. And then let's grab a little bit of the deep cadmium here. So I'm literally just doing that. So this is one of the ways you can add to it, or you can just wait for it to dry and add more pencil. This is generally how I do it, just because it's easier while it's all wet. All right, let's zoom out. Okay. You could also add more of the darker of the Van Dyke brown if you want also, but you can see how different pencils are going to give you different strengths for gold also. Lift that just a tad. Thank you so much. Aw, you all are so sweet. You're so nice to me. Jo Sammy watches her live all the time. Now she's seen you. I'm sure she'll start watching yours too. Oh, awesome, April. Yeah, whenever I stream, Steve has, if it's during the daytime, Steve has the TV on in the living room and the kids like to watch. And color along sometimes if it's there. Oh, they want to color. Okay, sounds good. All right, so that was the watercolor. What do we have else here? All right, let's move on. Yes, the Stabilo is definitely really dark, and a lot of it has to do with the amount of pigment, the type of pencil, that kind of thing. All right, let's go ahead and do the Ergosoft next. A lot of you know this is kind of like my signature pencil. This is my go-to. I recommend this one to everyone. Aw, thanks, Joanna. So with this one, we are going to be using 5 different, oh, excuse me, that was the T. I apologize. We're going to use 5 different pencils. So let's go ahead and zoom on in, lighten this up. There we go. One more maybe? Yeah, one more. All right, so for this one, we are going to be doing Staedtler Ergosoft. Absolutely love these if you're starting out and you want to... Mini Emily and Mini Steve. Hi, kids. These are my basics. If you're wanting to practice with harder lead pencils, then I highly recommend getting these. If you're going from like Prismacolor and you want to start like exploring Faber Castell, I cannot recommend Staedtler Ergosoft enough. I absolutely love them. And it's nice because there's, right there, Kenny's got the link. They're a 36 count set. So sometimes you can get overwhelmed by the larger sets, the 120 sets. There's 144 of Black Widows. They're absolutely wonderful, but sometimes it can get a little overwhelming on color choices. So, an animated sticker for Super Chat. When you go to do a Super Chat, I think you have the option of doing a sticker. Yeah, so when you click on the little dollar symbol, you have the choices for can't hardly see, super stickers, super chat. Oh, well, super chatted myself, or joining. So if you click the little dollar symbol, it'll give you the options for the sticker, and then it'll let you know. So, you're coloring with Ergosoft. Yes, I saw your picture this morning, Kat. That looks so relaxing being outside with that. Oh. Okay, so not having that many frustrates you? Okay, well, that works. I don't know. Sometimes for me, it's nice to kind of simplify it. And plus, having fewer pencils really helps me to think outside the box sometimes if I'm struggling. But that's also why a lot of times I will end up with very colorful, very pastel-y pictures because I end up using the whole rainbow of colors. If I had anything to say against it, I would say there's too many oranges in the set. Like, they should get rid of 2 of the oranges. Oh, awesome, Kat. There's too many oranges. They get rid of like 2 of those. And then like maybe add a couple more blues, maybe, or some like real reds. Yes, they're very pretty. Was not going to try moving computer outside. Yeah, that might get a little complicated. All right, so we're gonna write Staedtler Ergosoft. Staedtler Ergosoft. Okay. And then we are going to be doing, so Staedtler Ergosoft also don't have names, they just have colors. So the color numbers we're going to be using are 77, 76, 16, and like I said, you'll be leaving here today with all 12 of the color combinations. 1 and number 10. Okay, so we have 77 is the darkest. Okay, and then we have 76. All right, and then we have 16. But also when you have fewer, what are Ergosoft? They're the Staedtler Ergosoft pencils, Joanna. Back in the day before her spokesmanship ended, because she really likes Faber Castells now, Johanna advocated a lot for the Staedtler Ergosoft. But the nice thing is, again, A, smaller set. B, they're a great training pencil for harder leads. C, when they say Ergosoft, it's because of the ergonomic way, like it's more comfortable to hold because it's got this coating on the outside that almost gives you a little bit of a grip. But also the difference is it has a triangular barrel, which allows you to hold it with your 3 fingers like so. So they're incredibly comfortable to use. I enjoy them quite a bit. Okay, so this is number 1. And honestly, because they're a harder lead, I don't go through them nearly as fast as I do like the Prismacolors. Okay, so 1 second, I'm gonna take a sip real quick. All right, so we're gonna start with number 77. Okay. And we're gonna do the same thing we did before, that kind of crescent moon shape. And then we'll do one more blend. I'll give you the rest of the color combinations from the other page. And then we are going to start coloring on some of the practice shapes here. So we're not just doing circles today. We're gonna dive into some other shapes that kind of can help to show you the highlight. And again, like I said, I don't tend to do hyper realistic. I do things that are pleasing to the eye. He had them in school in Germany. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I think they're classified under student pencils too, but they're so good. I love them so much. But yeah, so like I said, I don't go for hyper realistic. Lisa Matrunkin, Jennifer Zimmerman, Chris Chang, those are all great colorists to check out if you want to do something that's hyper realistic. My goal is something where someone can look at it and be like, oh, cool, that is gold, you know, and it's pleasing to the eye. So yeah, I don't do a lot of hyper realistic stuff. Even my drawing style, I'd say that my drawing style is probably more similar to Johanna's than it is, you know, anything that's, you know, super realistic or anything. But I enjoy it. It's nice. It's simple. It's uncomplicated. Like I said, you can see some of my drawings over in my Etsy store, but also for Spooktober, we have some new drawings to that everybody is going to have access to that will be on sale starting tomorrow. Okay, Rochelle. Yes, Monia Gates, that's the other one. It's hard for me to remember all of them. And Belinda, obviously. There's so many fantastic colorists out there. In fact, if you go to my scheduled Spooktober, you'll see a whole list of like a lot of the main streamers. So if you're looking for new streamers to follow for coloring, that is a place to check it out. All right, 76. And Monia just started a Patreon also, so that's very cool. All right, so we're using 76 now. We're kind of going over number 77 a little bit. Sometimes it can be a little intimidating if you're coloring, you know, like such a large circle, but that's also why it's good to practice. You can print out multiples of these just to practice with the circles. Like I said, the other two worksheets are some shapes. There's a ring practice page, so if you're doing gold, rings are a really good thing to practice on. A triplist color chart of the website has numbers plus names. Oh, very cool. Oh yeah, the sale should last all of October, Donna. The sale should last all of October. We just start on the 27th so that it gives everybody a chance to download what they need to. All right, 16. I don't know. I know I showed the video yesterday for Spooktober, but can we get some... Why don't you type a number 1 in chat if you want to see the Spooktober promo video again that shows all of the pictures that are going to be going for sale. I know a lot of you have seen it already. But that way I can get an idea of whether or not I should play it again at the end of stream today. So I'm not going to do it right now, but later at the end. So if you want to see that, go ahead and type a 1 in chat. And then if I get enough, then I will go ahead and play that again at the end. I'll look up a chat in here in just a second. Stock Etsy and drool. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, then I got plenty of ones there. Then I will play that again at the end of stream so you all can see. Loads of talented artists and lots of streamers. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. Aw, thanks, Wendy. All right, and then number 1. And then number 10. Okay, now we're gonna do another layer and trying to kind of smooth out this transition a bit. Oh, that's fair, Loretta, that's fair. Well, like I said, all the pages will be available tomorrow. All right, so 77. I'm gonna have a pumpkin fairy house, and I've got a little bat on a pumpkin with a sunflower as well. The bat has a little mandala design on the wings. I don't know. I can't really do like scary drawings. I'm definitely more of a kind of cutesy sort of drawings. But I figure that's okay, because that just makes it recognizable as my style, you know? Yeah, I get that. There's a woman who I can't remember the name of her Facebook, but she reposts a lot of like new stuff. You know, when somebody has new stuff coming out in their Etsy store, but she always requests that people don't post those like flashy gifs in her comments, because it, like, I don't think she has seizures, but it sets off something, and so she has a hard time looking at them. Okay, number 76. Okay, and then number 16. You want to talk about scary? Have you seen my female Pennywise? I might have. I don't know. If it was scary, I probably didn't linger on it too long, because I don't like the scary stuff. In fact, that's one of the rules that I do have in my Facebook group. I don't have many, but I've also had a few members that have come to me, and you know, some of the scarier stuff is a bit triggering for them, just because of, you know, traumas and stuff in life. So like, one of the few rules I have is no nudity, no violence, and nothing pertaining to death in my group, just because it's triggering. But also, I don't know, I don't like a lot of scary stuff, you know. If I like to look at happier things. Ah, that's fair, April. That's fair. I can understand that. That is true. But see, I don't know. I don't really consider Doctor Who scary, but that's probably the closest I've gotten to anything kind of scary. All right, number 1. It's kind of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because it's so cheesy, I don't really consider it scary. Although I think Buffy technically falls, using number 1, falls under the like horror drama of sorts. It goes Super Steve with the TARDIS. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think Buffy technically, but again, it's so cheesy. I don't really count it, and I don't find it scary at all. So, but I don't know. I guess to each his own, I suppose. The Angels, yeah, the Angels are definitely. I think the Angels are probably one of the best villains. I don't know. The Daleks don't really scare me, and neither do the Cybermen. Oh, Teresa. All right, and then number 10. All right, so that's essentially what it is for the Ergosoft. Let's grab the blender and see what happens with the blender. Angels scare me. Yeah, they're a little bit, for sure. All right, so let's use the blender. You can see it brightens it up quite a bit. I love this blender so much. For a while, I just straight up didn't use blenders, but it's hard to pass up this one. It's too good. And I'm bringing it down. I'm just kind of wiping it on my pant leg, because it helps to take off some of the pigment so I don't drag the pigment where I don't want it to go. Seriously, if you're going to get any blender, the Caran D'Ache blender is the way to go. All right, Joanna. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom out. There we go. All right, so Prismacolor, Derwent Watercolor, Pastel, Ergosoft, and Crayola so far. Let's do one more, and then we are going to, I'll give you the combinations for the rest of them also. All right, so we are going to do a Faber Castell, okay? So let's zoom on in, brighten that up. All right, so Faber Castell combination. It's gonna be 6 pencils. Right, Joanna? Yeah, I can't do scary. I just can't. All right, so we are at Faber Castell Polychromos. You know what? No, we'll do that when we get to the other ones. All right, so our colors for this are dark sepia, number 175, and then we're gonna do nougat or nougat for number 178. Then we have brown ochre for number 182. Then light chrome yellow. Yellow. Again, we'll look at the nicer printed one, so if you're having a hard time reading my handwriting, I'll be showing you the nice printed version as well. As soon as we're done with this one. Cream, number 102, and ivory, number 103. Derwent too scratchy, Prismacolor, but Caran. Oh, I know, right, Marilyn? It's amazing. It's so amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. All right, let's see. So dark sepia. Okay. Then we have nougat. I know it's pronounced nougat, but I've always said nougat. It bothers me that you can't pronounce the T. All right, and then brown ochre. And then light chrome yellow. And then cream. And then ivory. Okay, so 6 colors for that one. All right, so we're gonna start with dark sepia. Again, we're gonna go for that kind of crescent moon style. Okay. Now with Faber Castell, they are oil pencils. They do not blend the way Prismacolors do, so light layers if at all possible. Aw, no problem, Ashley. I've got to get my Halloween playlist together. Coraline, Coco, Kiki's delivery. I love Kiki's delivery service. Paranorman. Oh, nice. You say nougat is nougat? Okay, glad. Because I figure, you know, that's what they say, like, for candy bars, a nougaty center. I don't know. I just feel, because I've always pronounced it nougat, I almost feel pretentious, like pronouncing it nougat. Like I'm trying to speak French or something when I'm not, when I'm like clearly not French. All right, now we're gonna grab nougat. Like, I'm American, I just have to accept it. Oh, nice, Marilyn. Sorry, if I stop for a second, it's because I'm looking up to read chat. We all saw what happened when I tried to continue to color and read chat at the same time. I was like, brrr. No, I'm not making that noise again. Oh. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and use brown ochre. I just can't do it, Kenny. I just can't. Oh, it's the Irish way. Okay, okay. All right, so brown ochre. Hi, Meady. We're just going real light here. Oh no! Oh, I missed it! Kat, did you have a spill? Oh no! I like have to put lids on all my stuff. I'm so clumsy, like that would totally be me. Oh, is B and D Brian? Okay. I can remember that. Now, that's not Shannon's Brian, is it? Oh my goodness, does Shannon's Brian have his own channel? Because that would be exciting. Alright, just these light layers here. Okay, and then we're gonna grab light chrome yellow. I know, right? Easy for you to remember. I say with the accent, like au jus, but I say nougat. Yeah, yeah, au jus, I definitely say like that. Because it'd be weird saying it like au jus. That'd be weird. I never heard it said nougat until Emily. It's nougat! I just dumped a large glass of iced tea all over. Emily did have the lid, but apparently not. Oh no, Cat, I'm so sorry. Nope, different one. Yeah, au jus, I definitely pronounce it that way. A light chrome yellow. We're gonna go over the yellow and all kind of the browns here. Okay. Joanna. What is it that Mary says? She says, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in a ship? Is that what she says? Mary, if you're here, what is it that you say? It's Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Because I'd always heard, you know, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. But she said, or Joseph, Mary, and Jesus on a ship? I don't remember, but it made me crack up so hard. Oh, okay. Oh, Pat, okay. Yeah, there you are, Mary. There's a, yes, yeah, Jesus and Mary and Joseph on a ship. That's what it is. All right, cream. It just cracks me up. I know it's really light now, but as you've seen from the others, we'll add more layers and it will darken up as we go along. All right, and then ivory. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and a ship. That's what it is. I don't know, I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking it was on a ship, but they could be on a ship. But yes, hilarious, Mary. All right, let's see. So sepia again. Which, by the way, while we have as many people as we do, I know it's hard because you can't click on somebody's name anymore and just go to their channel. But if you have a coloring channel, which I know a number of you in here do, or just a YouTube channel in general, and would like to share it, go ahead and throw up 3 emotes, 3 hearts, 3 smileys, whatever you want to do. And that way everyone can know if there is a new channel they should follow. So if you have a channel, throw up those 3 emotes so everybody can know. That is true, Sherry. That is true. All right, and now we're going to use nougat. And if you're not subscribed too, be sure to hit subscribe and those notifications because currently we stream 2 days a week with the occasional 3rd stream like this one. Next weekend we'll be streaming on the weekend again because of the event. So feel free to drop follows to those that are throwing up their emotes. Right, Kenny? Me too. Yeah, it has thrown kind of a big wrench in trying to follow people. Oh, nice, Brian. All right, and then brown ochre. Okay, we just slowly build up all of the colors. Perfect, Joanna. Without 78 as it's not in the pastels. Yeah, I don't see why not. You just need to do an easy fade. It'd be kind of hard to go straight from dark sepia to brown ochre though, just because this is so dark and this is so light. If you could find another brown that's sort of in between these two, that would be helpful. That would be very helpful. Yeah, Sherry, for sure. You'll get it. All right, light chrome yellow. because it'll be a little bit more difficult to get that nice seamless blend if you're going from such a dark color to such a light color. So find yourself a mid brown to throw in there. Yeah, walnut brown. Walnut brown could work. Okay, I'm using that light chrome yellow kind of over all of that here. Okay, then we're gonna grab cream. Just try to choose a warm brown and not a cool brown. Could you also add the name of your channel if it's not your name as it appears to be? Yes, Stella, good idea. Yeah, if you have a different name for your channel other than what your name is, throw that up there. And then ivory. Okay, so you could add a third layer here, but we're gonna go ahead and use the blender and you'll see how much it brightens up. All right, so let's go ahead and start in the middle like we have before. Okay, blend this together. Nice thing about a blender versus water is you don't have to work quite as fast with the water because it's not dry and you're just blending. Blending and smoothing out the tooth of that paper. There we go. Now if you want, you can go back in maybe with a little bit more nougat here. But the basic formula of finding your color combinations that you want for gold is you need to have your dark color, kind of a mid brown color, and then like a main yellow color, and then a really light yellow color. At the very base, those are kind of the things that you want to get a nice kind of gold gradient. When you start to get more comfortable with it, you can add in, you know, your highlights, you know, if you've got like a nice highlight going here. But if you're just working on just the basic blends, I know, right, Allie? Yeah, it is a absolutely wonderful blender pencil. I love it so much. And then that cream. That last one was the light chrome yellow. Cream, and then the ivory. Oh, Teresa, it just takes practice. Lots of light layers. That's all. Just take your time and do really light layers. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Okay, let's zoom out here. All right, so what we have done so far is we've done the Prismacolor, the pastels, the Stabilo Pastel Pencils. We've done the Crayola. We've done the Derwent Watercolor, the Staedtler Ergosoft, and the Faber Castell Polychromos. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Because I'm gonna show you the other combinations, and we're gonna check off the ones that we've done, and then I'm gonna leave it on screen here for a minute so you can write down what else you haven't done yet, okay? So these are the others. Let's move that out of the way. Move this. Okay, so we've already done the Ergosoft, so I'm gonna just shift this over since you've already seen that one, but I want you to be able to write down the rest of these, okay? So let's make sure we're in focus here, which we are. All right, so we've done the Prismacolor, okay? We've done the Derwent Watercolor. We've done the Stabilo CarbOthello. We've done the Staedtler Ergosoft. We've done the Crayola. And we've done the Faber Castell Polychromos. Okay, so here is what we have. I'm actually going to go to each one of these and zoom in so you can take a screenshot or write them down. Have you seen the CD that has made the full blender into pencil form? Oh, yes, I have. Belinda has had that, but she actually has been saying that she prefers the full blender. I think what she said is you get more, you know, bang for your buck, which I kind of agree. I feel like you get quite a bit. All right, so here is the Arteza pencils. I'm going to give everybody a chance to either write down or screenshot this. I'm going to drink a little bit of tea. Okay. So, like I said, I pre-colored these and scanned these in. So this isn't like the exact true color of it. So just something to keep in mind. I've never been comfortable with a blender. However, seeing it used piques my interest. I have 2 of them that came with Lumis. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah, for sure, Kenny. All right. I'm gonna, yeah, I guess for those of you that are writing on a computer, I'll give it just a few more minutes, or not minutes, just a few more seconds here so you guys can write them down. If I go too fast and you need me to go back to one, let me know and I'll go back to it, okay? All right, so then let's move down to, this is the Caran D'Ache Luminance. Okay. Yeah, so keep in mind the colors you're seeing on the screen aren't going to be as true. One, this is scanned. Two, you're seeing it over a camera. So definitely lay out these swatches for yourself so you can try and get them matched. Oh, that could be fun, Kat. Wait, did you say it's blurry, Teresa? Is this blurry or is it clear for everyone? I'm gonna give everybody a chance to write this down. Some on mobile will be able to just screenshot it, but I want to get, if you're using pencil and paper, I want you to. It's clear. It was. It's good. Oh, gotcha. Okay, okay. I'm gonna get a snack after this. I don't know about you guys. Okay, cool. All right, we ready to move on to the next one? Oh, most definitely, Kat. Yes, yes, yes. It'll take however long it takes for YouTube to process it when we're done. But yes, this will always be up here for reference. Most definitely. All right. I'm going to shift down now. Again, if you want me to go back to one, if you missed writing one down, let me know. I'm realizing I never wrote the color with this one, but it's got the number. I like left off the number on a couple of these. Oh well. It's got the name of it, so you'll be able to find it. All right. Next, we have the Irojiten Tombow. And the methods that I showed you here today, everything's great, Michelle. Yes, Arteza. As soon as I'm done with the Irojitens, I'll go back to the Arteza. Yeah, the methods that we colored with today, light layers is going to be key, 2 to 3 layers. Feel free to use the blender pencil if you want. If you don't want to, that's just fine. But that is going to be what is key to getting these blends down. Light layers, go slowly, try to avoid harsh lines, that kind of thing. The erosion tints, they can be, yeah, which is why you kind of start out small. But you can see here the numbers V, D, VP. That is indicative of what sets they come in. I don't remember which ones specifically. But like I said, all of these pencils are linked down below. All right, I'm going to go back up to the Artezas real quick. Again, if you want me to go back to one, let me know. Okay, we're going to go back up to the Artezas real quick so you can write it down. I know some groups have more pencil names than others. But I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to write them down. Aw, thanks, Joanna. Like I said, you don't have to have the worksheets to do these. I just made the worksheet so it's easier if you wanted to do the circles and lines, you could fill it in. You know what I mean? All right, type ready in chat if you're ready for me to move on to the next section. Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. Ready? Okay. Wait for one more ready. Ah, we got 2. Okay, perfect. All right, we're going to move on to the next page because we already, so on this page we had the Arteza, the Stabilo, the Derwent Watercolor, Caran D'Ache Luminance, Irojiten Tombow, and Prismacolor mirrors. And I'm zooming into each one just because sometimes if it's zoomed far away, it might be a little bit harder to read. So, oh, Michelle, thank you for that super chat. Can we get some hypes in chat for Michelle? You can use those emotes or type !hype. Thank you so much, Michelle. You are so sweet. All right, let's see. We did Polychromos, we did Ergosoft. Here is the Schpirerr Farben combination. Make sure that's in focus here. There we go. Thank you so much, Michelle. Get those hypes out. And you get a Super Steve and a TARDIS. Thank you, Michelle. You are so sweet. But unlike I said, I mean, not everybody's going to want to write down all the combinations because you might not even have these pencil sets. But this way, with 12 different pencils, somebody's bound to have at least one of these sets. Jeopardy music, I know, right? Well, here we can, oh, you know what we should do? We should turn on this. We get our upbeat hype music going. There we go. I don't know if you can hear that. Because we're gonna do a few more stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, Della. Right? Isn't it cute, Joanna? All right, give me some readies when you're ready to move on to the next combination. Exactly, Mary, exactly. Well, and if you ever need to re-reference this will be up on the YouTube, you know? Okay, so we already did the Crayolas. Let's move down to the Black Widows. And here you can see I have marked the different sets too. So the Black Widow set, the Scorpion set, and the Cobra set. I don't have any Monarch colors because when I made this combination, the Monarch colors had not come out yet. I thought about adjusting it, but this combination works just fine. Does this blend work with alcohol markers? Well, the combos, I don't see why not. Let me grab my color chart for my Artezas. I couldn't tell you, was so snoozy. Oh no. I couldn't tell you about the Copics because I don't have them. But let me grab Everblends. For the Everblends, the Arteza Everblends, I don't see why not. It's got plenty of colors. You could do something like, well, here, I'll show them at the end, but it's just the same basic formula. You get a darker brown, you know, a medium brown, a kind of medium yellow, and then a lighter yellow, and then if you have it, an even lighter yellow. Okay, let me know when you're ready to move on to the next. Brighten that just a bit. Oh, no worries, Michelle. Oh, thanks, Kenny. If the music's too loud, let me know. Ready? All right. Okay, and then the last one, and you should have 12 at the end of this. If you're missing one, let me know. I think so, Teresa, but I'll be perfectly honest. I have never used Gamsol as a blender, but I do know people who have. So I think that it could work, yes. Oh no, Aspie, you must be so sleepy. All right, so this is the Castle Art blend as well. This is the new one that I added in place of the Arteza watercolors. Aw, gotta get some sleep, sweetie. Coconut oil is perfect for blending pencils, plus it's natural and smells nice. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Does it, for coconut oil, do you have to worry about it going bad or going rancid once it's on the paper, Kat? I wonder about that. That's one of the big reasons why they say, like, don't use olive oil for blending or anything. I've heard people use Vaseline as well, but I can't speak for sure on that one. When you guys are done with the Castle Art ones, let me know, and I'll put both in the frame again and zoom out just in case anybody else wants to double check that they aren't missing any. Did you do something wrong? I don't think so, Michelle. Oh no, Marilyn! Yeah, I don't think so, Michelle. What makes you think you did something wrong? Oh, yeah, I could see that. Oh, the oil evaporates. Okay. Okay, is everybody ready? Did you get it written down? Oh, definitely, Shannon. Yeah. I agree on that, for sure. I don't know, lately it seems like PDFs are the only thing I do. I hardly leave anything in books these days, but it's kind of nice. Okay. All right, I think that's about enough time for that. Let's go ahead and zoom out now. And I'm gonna bring that down a little bit so you can read it. And just double check that you have everything, okay? So, on your list, if you were making a list to save these, you should have Arteza Colored Pencils, Stabilo Pastel Pencils, Derwent Watercolor, Caran D'Ache Luminance, Irojiten Tombows, Prismacolor Premiers, Faber Castell Polychromos, Staedtler Ergosoft, Schpirerr Farben, Crayola, Black Widow, and Castle Arts. Okay? So, these are the 12 that you should have. If you need to, you can always go back and rewatch it to snag the rest of these. All right, let's go ahead and put these to the side. The other thing that we are going to do with this is not just circles. These are some other worksheets that I have available for printing if you are wanting to practice more gold, okay? So we've got some shapes here. We're going to do a little bit on here. We may or may not do some on here because we have some rings on here that we can deal with. But there is a ring practice page if you want to practice this on your own time as well, okay? So why don't we try with a combination that we haven't done yet, okay? All right, so let's start with this kind of chain. We're probably not going to do the whole chain, but it'll give you an idea. Hi, Michelle. Let's see. Is Michelle maybe not cut up? I'm going to put in chat just in case. Michelle, we sent you hype. Make sure you're... No, how can we say that? Here, we'll just... Lots of hearts. I want to make sure she can hear me. Yeah, because I thanked her for her super chat, but maybe she's behind a little bit. Ray, type in !website, or you can get it on if you're in the Facebook group. But if you go to my website and go to the download section, scroll down to the bottom, and the worksheets for this will all be there. And you'll have the gold practice worksheet that has the lists. You'll have the gold ring practice page and the shapes worksheet also. You can find it all there. Just click it and it's automatic download. All right, so let's grab... Yeah, I haven't used the Schpirerr Farbens in a little bit. Let's use the Schpirerr Farbens, okay? And that is a 6 pencil combo. Okay, I'm going to turn this just a little bit so it's a little bit... She could be in top chat, maybe. I just didn't want her to think that we didn't notice, because I appreciate it. Thank you, Michelle. But if her stream's a little bit behind, that might be why. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with dark brown, number 680, okay? So if you are coloring something like a chain, add your darker colors where the chains are going to overlap, okay? So we're going to add it here. And I just made this page so that you can have a few different shapes to practice on. You know what I mean? A few different angles, a few different shadows, that kind of thing. Okay, we're also going to do the same here. And like I said, you could get real adventurous with some of this if you're wanting to, you know, start throwing in some blacks to create more of a realistic reflection. There's a lot you can do. Like I said, Jennifer Zimmerman, Monia Gates, Belinda, Sammy, Lisa Matrokin, they are all fantastic colorists to check out if you are wanting to, if you're feeling that you're ready for, you know, some hyper realistic kind of, you know, graduation into that. What's she asking about? Either put them in the description or on her Facebook page in the files. Oh, yeah, in the files. I forget too about being in top chat because I don't think my comments are being seen. I see them. You're good. The only time I've ever not seen someone's comments is I was in somebody's chat the other day and Pickle had been saying something and I realized I couldn't see it because everybody was talking to her. I was like, where are her comments? And so, yeah, so now I'm realizing that live chat really does make a difference. I wondered sometimes, but I was just like, oh, okay then. So I'm adding a little bit of shadow like here at the bottom and at the bottom here. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and grab number 670 chocolate. Chocolate. Now, how much you use, sometimes, like I have 6 pencils here, but maybe, and also with Pickles, that's so interesting. If your space is too small, maybe cut down on the amount of colors you're using or just use a tiny bit of it. So like, I don't want to use too much of this brown because this is a smaller space. Okay, so we're just going to go real light here. Now we're going to move on to, Brian posted Sammy Stain didn't show up. He could see it on his screen, but I couldn't. Della! Oh, look at that. Happy thank you workout pair. He's got like a little sweatband. Thank you so much, Della. Can we get some hypes in chat for Della? Got those emotes? Throw up those emotes. Or you can type exclamation point hype. Thank you so much, Della. You all are so sweet. Thank you. All right, so 130 burnt sienna. There we go. We're going nice and light to begin with. And again, we're using the Schpirerr Farbens right now. There we go. A little bit here. Aw, thanks, Stella. Well, I was just so glad to finally be able to schedule this. You know, I had to cancel it, and then I just couldn't find a right time to do it. Told Steve, I was like, I just need to pick a weekend, and we need to just do it. Because I had everything already. It was good to go. It just seemed like a waste. And like I said, I'm not coloring the whole chain. I'm just coloring a couple of them so that you guys can kind of see. You know, I feel like, nah, that's too dark. We'll darken it up here in a little bit anyway. Things in mirror are darker than they appear. Okay, so golden yellow, number 90. Okay. Number 90. Kind of going over all those darker browns over here. We're going to do another layer to darken it up. But this practice worksheet is going to be great for, you know, just trying different kind of shadows, different kinds of angles. And like I said, you know, this is just something that's, you can look at and be like, hey, this is gold, you know? So now we're using light yellow, number 40. You know, there's no question that what you're doing here is metallic, you know what I mean? Okay, and then number 12, ivory. We're just going to fill in that white spot there. Okay, now we're going to grab our colors again. So we're going to grab dark brown. A little bit darker. There we go. A little bit darker here. I tried to draw a few things, you know, like a lot of how a lot of the pages have like filigree kind of frames on them. You know, I put this kind of inward kind of cylinder you know, if you were like coloring a bottle of perfume or something, you've got, you know, something that's ribbon, you've got ring, that kind of thing. So I tried to think of things that a lot of times are in pages that you would need to know how to color gold for. Okay, so we're just darkening up these sides here a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and grab chocolate. And really the way that I'm coloring this too isn't just for metallics. I mean, if you're wanting to get a nice gradient on an image and you're trying to figure out the highlights, this is another great way to do it. You know, just try and keep it fairly consistent. Like this bottom part here is shaded, this bottom part here is shaded. Clearly underneath this part of the chain would be shaded. Just keeping it consistent helps to bring the eye all the way around and creates a bit of movement in the picture. Okay, and then burnt sienna. Thanks, Joanna. And the music's not too loud, right? There we go. Okay. And then we're going to grab the golden yellow. Because the fact of the matter is, I can't hear what you guys hear. Like, I'm going based off of my volume bars. Like, you know, if it's in the red or if the music volume is higher than my volume. Okay, and then light yellow. Okay, a little bit there. And then ivory. And then we're gonna grab our handy dandy blender. Handy dandy. Okay, I'm gonna give it a quick sharpen here. I just use this one here. Oh, gotcha, Michelle. Okay, yeah, we were like, oh no, she didn't hear what we said. I gotcha, Michelle. Well, thank you, Michelle, for your super chat. I appreciate it. It was so sweet. Okay, we're just gonna smooth that out a little bit. Seriously, I cannot recommend this blender enough. Handy dandy notebook. Yes, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Gonna blend that on in. There we go. All right. Now, if you're coloring something like this, a chain, and you want to get adventurous, I mean, because you can see in a gold ring, there is like just straight up white highlights on it sometimes. You can even see where there's some black. So there's a lot more to explore when coloring gold. So let's actually, let's see, do I have a black out here? You know, let's grab this Arteza black. I know we're using Schpirerr Farben, but let's grab the Arteza black because I want to show you a little bit of an example. Where is my Posca? Okay, we got the Posca pen. All right, so things like, let's take our black. Okay. You could just do something simple like this, okay? Maybe something here, because it really just kind of depends on what kind of light is around it. I mean, if you're wanting to venture out, okay? If you're wanting to venture out, if you're thinking, you know, this is pretty easy for me, I think I'm ready for the next step kind of thing. So we're going to blend that in a little bit and get a little bit darker. Okay. Add a little bit more of that black here. Okay, and I don't have a Schpirerr Farben black on hand, so I just grabbed an Arteza black because that's what I had available. Okay, and then let's take our white Posca, okay? Now, if you're doing this, I know, I'm mixing pencils. I know, it is a little bit sacrilege. Yeah, I'm cringing a little bit. I'm cringing just a bit. But, you know, it's for time management. I don't have my Schpirerr Farbens at hand. Now, if you are planning this out for your highlights, you could leave a space for the white. But what we're going to do is we're just going to grab our white Posca pen. Okay. And we are going to put a bit of a highlight here. Okay. Maybe even here. All right. You could also, if you really wanted to, you could like use the Posca over the black lines. But that's also, you know, why I have, okay, actually I don't like that one there. Posca, you can just scratch off. It's real nice. That's also why I have multiple rings. Experiment with where your, I just don't like to, Joanna. Oh, great, Steve. So, you know, you have multiple rings. Experiment with where you want to place your shadows. I mean, if you have a gold ring, you can take, you know, take a look at references on here, but you can see, you know, because I've got the camera above, you know, it's a little bit skewed. So you've got, you know, this black area here because it's, you know, reflecting the camera and all the different lights and stuff. But when you look at a gold ring in and of itself, I mean, you can see how dark it is here at this corner. You got your browns here. You look at, you got this one single stripe of yellow. You got an almost black here. You got a highlight here. So there's so much going on with this ring right now that it's not even as simple as this. Like this is pretty basic here. Yeah, I don't usually mix. That's pretty basic, but you know, there is a lot more to experiment with. Ah, there you go. Yeah, this is just a nice simple gold band, but take a look at some reference photos on Google. So when you start to branch into adding your shadows, adding your highlights, what I'm showing you here today is just something easy that you can add as an embellishment to like maybe your Johanna pages. But I mean, there's so much more. I mean, this one is like a white gold, but you can still see, I mean, look at those black colors, look at those highlights. You still see some gold. There's a lot more to do. So what you're going to do with these shadows, it's the same basic thing for here too. So like taking this here, if you're doing this ribbon, it's the same kind of thing, you know, add your shadows where you're going to do it and then build up your golds from here, you know, maybe add a little bit of shadow, maybe not as much. The idea is think in your head where you want your light to come from. Okay. So let me grab a flashlight here. I think I have one on hand. Yes, here we go. I want to show you an example. Let's see, what do I have around me I can use? This is pretty bright, but okay, we're gonna use this. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. If you are struggling to figure out where your light is coming from, find an object. If you're doing a study of sorts, okay, you find an object. So this is my, you know, 2-hole pencil sharpener. Let's get that in focus here. Okay. And right now I have 3 lights above me. You can see that casts a little bit of a shadow here, casts a little bit of a shadow here. I have 3 lights above me. I have one over here that's a studio light. I have one here and one here. Now, softness of your light is going to play a lot into it, okay? So for instance, my light over here, you can see the shadow isn't as strong here because one, I have 2 lights that are kind of over in this direction, but one, I have what's called a diffuser, and that softens the light. I've got one coming that's going to soften the light for this one too, so these shadows won't be as harsh. But right now I have pretty even light all the way across. Now, if I were to take a direct light and shine it on here, it's not showing up as much as it would just because, but here, let's turn off. I want to show you what I'm talking about here. We're going to turn off this one. I think that's dark enough. Okay. All right. So you have, there you go. All right. So you've got your light that's coming in from this direction. Okay. So obviously you're getting a little bit of a highlight here. I feel like my phone flashlight would be actually a little bit better. I'm going to grab that. This one's, the one flashlight I had is much better for like in the dark. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so you can see that it's casting quite a bit of shadow here, but based on where it's at, if you take a look at this, you're going to have a little bit of shadow here. Let's zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so based on how I move it, you can see with the light being directly above, you're going to be able to see, well, it would cover it up, but you're going to be able to see more of the inside. You move it to the side, you've got more of a shadow here. This side is maybe a little bit lighter. So you have to think about where your light is coming from, okay? So whether it's the sun or your thing is indoors, or whatever it is that you're working on, you need to consider where your light is coming from. So if you want it to be consistent, you need to consistently place your light in the direction that you think it's coming from. So for instance, with these little rings I did, or the little chains, I have the light coming from this direction. So that's why I have this part being the lightest, this part being the lightest, and this part here. Now when that light comes in, there's a little bit of shadow here and here for sure, but you're getting what the overlap is of the chains. So like I said, I don't do hyper realistic, but there's a lot of basic things that you can think of when you are coloring something. And so you're going to get a much more coherent look. In fact, let me add something here. I want to show you a difference, a really good example. Let's see, image 1. I want to show you real quick. Hang on, I'm adding something here that I would like to show you. Where did I put it? I think it's under coloring. Has anybody, I know I talked about it before, but did anybody see the 2 comparison pictures I did from Secret Garden, where I showed you the image that I colored in 2015 and the image that I colored in 2020? Okay, so we're going to add this one here. Okay. This is an image from Secret Garden that I colored in 2015, okay? Now I'm going to show you the one from 2020, and the reason I'm showing you this is because I want to show you the lighting, okay? Now, sure, that one was decent enough, but my style and my technique has definitely changed over time. Let me grab the other one real quick because I want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, that one's big. Okay, hang on. Hang on. We need to put these side by side here. Okay. All right. So these are 2 of the same images. Now the one on the right I colored from the mini book. The one on the left I colored. Oh, is somebody leaving? Let's see. Oh, bye, Jennifer. The one on the left I colored in the large book. If you look at the leaves, and the one on the left, I wish I could like have a pointer and just like show you here. I'm using my mouse, but you can't see my mouse. In the one on the left, look at the brown flowers next to the purple owl, okay? So I colored all of the leaves, the brown leaves, pretty much the same. They have the same highlights directly on top. But if you look over on, not brown flowers, sorry, brown leaves. If you look at the brown leaves on the one on the right, you'll see that I have a bit more direction in my lighting. So underneath the 2 leaves, there's a little bit more shadow. A lot of the lighting is more on the left side. Same thing with the green leaves on the left next to the blue owl. I have a bit more shadow. Everything has a little bit more direction. So, oh, thanks everyone. So think about that when you're coloring large groups. Don't just do one flat highlight. If you can, it takes a little bit of coordination in your mind thinking, okay, I've got it all coming from one side kind of thing. Think about where you are placing that, where your highlights are. If your highlights are stronger on your left or on your right, you know, think about maybe which direction. Try to be fairly consistent. I mean, it's not perfect here, obviously, but there is a clear direction and flow to where the highlights and shadows are going to go. Oh, awesome, Joanna. So the difference, I mean, a lot of people, you know, are like, hey, they're both great. I don't see much of a difference kind of thing, which is great. I do like the left one. But the difference in my growth is it was my ability to place the shadows and highlights where they need to be and to get a little bit more depth within the picture, a little bit more movement. So that's kind of the key difference between the two. So just think about where your light's coming from, think about the direction, and think about the balance that way. Like I said, it's not super realistic, but it does give it a little bit of movement and flow to it. So just things to think about. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out. So what you can do now with what we've learned today, let's make sure this is in focus, is you can take all of those, put in an arrow above your pick to symbolize light source direction is sometimes helpful. Yes, yes, most definitely. Exactly, and you can make up your light direction because, I mean, how often are you going to see something just sitting there? So you just imagine, you know, which direction your light is coming from. So what you can do today now, you have this color and worksheet with the different shapes. You have this sheet with the different rings and everything. So take a look at these. You know, you've got, you know, you're going to have some shadows here, shadow here, shadow here. You know, like I said, look up a picture of just a plain gold ring. Again, mine's kind of skewed because I have so many lights. But if you take a picture of a gold ring or find a picture online, you can see a lot where all of those highlights and shadows are. And so you have all these different yeah, you have all of these different highlights, shadows, and everything. But basically what I'm hoping you can take away from this today is that you've got all the different color combinations and you've got all the practice sheets that you need to practice, practice, practice. And I mean, they say, especially, you know, if you're wanting to get better at something, you know, color every day, draw every day, practice all the time. So you've got your worksheets now, you've got your color combinations, you should have all the tools that you need to go ahead and practice this up. And you know what, too, if you share these on Instagram or even just send me a picture, I'd love to see your practice. If you're okay with it, I'd love to share them to show, you know, what everybody's been doing for the class and everything. And, you know, feel free to come back and reference this stream as well to kind of, you know, help refresh your memory or maybe come up with some other so proud to color gold. Tell me the late show in a year or so. Okay, Ruthie. Okay. So, yeah, ideally you're coming away with 12 different combinations today. You know, worksheets to practice those gold color combinations. Basically everything you need to know to start practicing coloring your gold. Like I said, if you want to get into realistic gold coloring, take a look at Belinda, Monia, Lisa Matroka, and Jennifer Zimmerman, Chris Chang. There's loads of them out there. Oh, Wendy, I'm so glad. So yeah, just take a look at them. You know, just practice, practice, practice. And since you've got the whole sheet that has all of these, you know, practice. Do some mess ups. Do whatever you want to do. And yeah, let's see. Before I go, just because I realized how it's already 3:30, my goodness. Does anybody have any questions? I love answering questions. And B, did anybody need to see any color combinations again? Oh, I know we were going to talk about those art markers too. Let me grab you these. Okay, so color combinations for like the Arteza art markers. You could start out with something, these are pretty bold colors. So I would start easy with something like 2492 and then maybe venture into 941. And then from 941 go to maybe 941 to maybe 949. And then 945, and then 9426. Those would probably be good ones, and then you just blend them all together. So, to repeat again, here, let's zoom in. 2492, 941, 949, 945, and 9426. Those would be good combinations. And this is just the Everblend Art Marker set of 60. It doesn't even involve the portrait tones or anything. So yeah, hopefully if you can take away anything from today, it's all those color combinations and all the tools that you need to practice your gold coloring. All right, well, I don't see any. Oh, thanks, Joanna. Of course, I love this. And you know, if you guys have any ideas for anything else, any other tutorials or classes that you want to learn or anything, let me know. And as a reminder too, for those of you that are new, I also did a color theory class, which also has coinciding worksheets. On the download section, I have all the worksheets plus the links to those particular streams. But also you can find the streams on YouTube. So, if you have any other questions or want to learn anything new, if you're watching this back, leave something in the comments, send me a message, whatever you want to do. And yeah, just let me know. So we're going to play the Spooktober video one more time. Of course, Allie. You know, Allie, you can kind of take the same basic thing, is make sure you have a nice dark color, so like even black, and a nice white. You need your shadows and your highlights. If you have too many middle greens, it's going to muddy. So have your black, have your white, and then add one or two more grays in the middle and do this sort of thing. But having those nice dark contrast blacks and those, you know, nice bright whites is what's going to get you your nice kind of silvery color. All right. So yeah, we got all the links up there. We've got the website. We've got the Insta. We've got the Spooktober. We've got the Facebook. So feel free to take a look at all of those. We will be live again Monday night where we will continue. Where did I put it? Ah, here it is. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. We will continue this little teapot from the Mini Secret Garden, okay? Awesome, Marilyn, awesome. Nightbot, I know, right? Let's see, your more unusual color combos you use together. Well, it's fine, you know, as long as you've got some good transition colors, you can really kind of do any color combo. Yes, party on Monday. All right, so we're gonna finish this on Monday night. Thank you everyone to coming around. If you have not subscribed to the channel or you're watching this back and you're not, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see when we go live. We do mostly live streams, hang out, color, chat, learn some things. Oh no, the rain is too loud. All right. Don't share. All right, everyone. Well, let's see. Kat, thank you for your super chat. Joanna, thank you for your super chat. Shara, thank you for yours. And Michelle, thank you for yours. And Della, thank you for yours. And Sandra, thank you for subscribing. I just saw that. I'm sorry I missed that. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and I will see you all on Monday. All right. And don't forget, next weekend, Spooktober. Images go on sale tomorrow. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to play that Spooktober video as our kind of heading out thing. I want to thank you again to all of our members. We had some new members as well. So, yeah, I'll see you all on Monday. All right, thank you everyone for being here, and I will see you then. Bye.